Hello, and thank you for joining me today to talk about the headaches of life. Now, what is a headache? A headache is that many of you may be feeling that life is one long headache and that you are encountering all kinds of difficulties and issues in your life, which is making your life seem like one long headache. Now, in this video, I'm going to talk about what is actually happening. Why does life present itself like that to you? Why is it happening? And more importantly, how can it stop feeling like that and being like that? And how can you stop experiencing life like that so that it no longer becomes a headache and you can get some wonderful joy and experience life as it is meant to be wonderful. So this is what's happening, is that you are hitting your head against a wall. And now I'm going to go into what is a wall, but now you might have one wall in your life, or you might be like me, who has had many walls in their life, and every time you come across a wall, is that this is what it's doing, and this is exactly my behavior over the last 40 years. It's when I look at it like that, it looks somewhat ridiculous. But I've had one very long headache and very severe headache because I have there have been loads and loads of walls in my life, and this is what I do when I come across a wall. So that's what's happening. Now, what is a wall? Okay, what am I talking about? What are these walls? Well, a wall is an issue that is important to you. It's important. It's an important issue. Now, that could be an issue at work or with friends, or an issue that arises at family or neighbors, but it's something that's important to you. Now, here's the thing: is that um, pretty well much everyone will have at least one issue or something that's important to them, usually to do with their partner or with somebody that they really love and they really strongly care about. And it's either a partner or a child or someone very close to them, okay, or a best friend or whatever. So everybody at least has is that something or something like that. Now, if you are I'll get to this a bit in a minute. And then in that particular situation is that an issue comes up and that's important to you, and you believe A, and the other people that issue concerned with is that they believe B, and A is not equal to believe B, and you also believe and want to and feel that agreement is necessary on this particular issue. All right, that not only is it that you disagree, but actually that agreement is necessary, and either that you change, that you end up believing in what they believe in, that you both believe B, or they change, they believe what you believe, and you both believe B, or you both change and you end up believing something else, C. But there's agreement, okay? And the fourth thing is that you want that agreement, and it is necessary, and it's important that you continue going until you get agreement because you're passionate and you care about that issue. Now, everyone is passionate and caring about issues to do with people that they love deeply, and it could be a partner or a child or someone very close to family or a best friend or whatever. And everybody is passionate and caring. So everybody has at least one wall, assuming that you have disagreement, right? And I'll be very surprised if there's somebody out there, and if you are, please let me know who you are, that you agree on everything on important issues people care about. So at least one of you, at least you'll have at least one wall. Now, if you happen to be passionate and care about lots of things, and when you are passionate and you care about issues that are important to you, you will likely have a very strong opinion on it, because it's important and you're passionate and you care, and you will have a strong opinion on it. And if you're unfortunate enough to be somebody like me, is that you have you are actually built to be passionate and caring about pretty well much everything, be it issues at work, with friends, with family, with neighbors, and across a spectrum of areas, is that you will end up having lots and lots of walls. Okay, so I am setting out is that, you know, everyone out there, everyone, I'm saying everyone, and if you don't fall into this category, please let me know. Everyone will have at least one wall, and a lot of you will have more than one wall, and some of you, if you happen to be like me, will have loads of walls. Okay, now this video is for all of you. Okay, so now what's happening is you are doing a number of things. Is that because you want to get agreement, on this particular issue, right? Is that you are your passion is going to come out, and you're going to hit the passion comes up by hitting the wall harder, because you want that's the passion coming through, right? You'll become more and more passionate about this over time, and you will continue to have the same argument discussion over and over again, right? You will repeat this, and those of you who have a ongoing issue with your partner or with a family member, this may be going on for decades, and the repetition might be into the hundreds, even the thousands, if you've been if you've if you've been around as long as I have. Now, what you'll have is that you may also try a different spot on the wall, okay, and a kind of a different way of getting to the same thing. Now, say you might use painkillers. Now, if you think about this, is that, I mean, again, when I'm writing these down, think about a physical wall. Is that, you hit the wall harder because you want to break the wall. You hit the wall harder with your head. You hit the wall multiple times with your head because you think that was going to break the wall. You try a different spot. Maybe the different spot on the wall will be weaker. And then, of course, you've got a headache, and you want to go back to hitting that wall, but you need to calm your headache down. So you use a painkiller. And the painkiller in this case is that you might use meditation techniques, a drink, take a little bit of a break before you get back in again, and then start hitting your head against the wall. Or you'll try different painkillers, try different things in between, so you can pump yourself up, listen to a motivational tape or whatever it is, and try and get yourself all motivated and stuff. All those things to go back before you go and hit that wall again. Number 6. This is the one that I've also used a lot, and this is a multi-billion-dollar global business, right? Which is all telling you that the reason why you can't get through that wall is because there's something wrong with your technique. I'm going to explain to you why that is utter nonsense, right? It is just total BS designed to not only keep you having a headache, but also to make you poorer in the process. Okay, so now this is what's happening. Now, when you look at those things, you think, wow, if you were hitting your head, if you physically were hitting your head against a physical wall and you're doing all those things, you think, wow, that was bonkers behavior, that this person is really mad. And the truth is that actually I have been very mad. Is that when looking back on it, is when I look at it this way, I think, wow, that was ridiculous behavior on my part. Absolutely ridiculous. That is what you're doing. Okay. And so why are you doing this? Is that because actually you believe that either a combination of those 1 or 6 things, or all of those over time, is that, yeah, it's going to break the wall. And breaking the wall means that the wall will no longer will change, and and it will no longer be a wall. They will change their view. You believe that if you do all this stuff, is that you are going to change what they believe, and they're going to come into agreement with you. Now, if it's something that they are passionate and care about, and they have a different view on it than you, then the probability of this happening is close to Zippo 0. It is not going to happen. And that's why all of that stuff that they tell you, that you can change this and you can change that and all that stuff, is absolute nonsense. When it comes to walls, absolute, utter nonsense. So you think about it, right? Is that, this is a wall, right? A wall. Would you be dumb enough to think that you can break a wall with your head? No. Would you be dumb enough to think that a wall can suddenly stop being a wall? No. Do you think that the wall will kind of physically move and walk away? No. Now remember this, okay? It's that, remember I told you it's something that's important for you. It's something that you feel passionate about and care about, and therefore, you know, agreement's important. Well, the other person's also like that. Now, the reason why they believe what they believe, that they believe A, is because there's everything that has happened in their lives, everything that has happened, that all their experiences, everything else, the way that they process everything around them, is that that's led them to believe A. And everything that has happened to your life, everything has led you to believe B. Now, they are believing A because of who they are. Yeah? And you're believing what you believe in because of who you are. All right. Now, I'm going to give you some examples of what these real walls are, okay? And it's about things that you're really passionate about and care about, and the other person's like that. So it's highly likely that this is going to come up with your partner, and it could be about how you're raising kids, or where and who to spend Christmas with. Now, I'm telling you this, is that no presentation technique, no technique is going to resolve, you know, if you're having an argument with your partner as to where and who you're going to spend Christmas with, and you have a disagreement, and you know, you feel very passionately about A and they feel very passionately about B, then technique is not going to solve that problem, is it? No, it's not. And in fact, none of those things are going to solve that problem. And you know this. And those of you who, if you have been unfortunate enough to have disagreement about where to and who to spend Christmas with, you'll know exactly what I mean. And those of you who haven't had it, well, you're lucky. But there'll be something else, right? Something that you're passionate about. Now, if the, you know, in even the situation, and I've been in this, where you're making I've been a strategy consultant, and unfortunate truth is that when companies bring in external consultants, it's not that they want to know what the truth is. They want somebody to external third party to basically ratify what they already believe to be true, so they can hit whoever it is that's not believing them about that particular issue, hit them over the head with that report. And if you end up concluding something that is not according to what they want, then the report will be buried. It's as simple as that. Unfortunate. It's really unfortunate. It's complete nonsense, that entire industry. But anyway, so and it doesn't matter. You know, you have all the analysis, etc., but they want to believe what they want to believe, and you know, and because people want to believe what they want to believe, and so, you know, where and who to spend Christmas with. If you're unfortunate enough to have had that kind of issues, that you know what I mean. If not, then congratulations. I hope you never have to experience that. So now, so that's basically the wall. Is that, so now? Would you really be thinking now when that happens? Okay, when that happens and somebody is disagreeing with you, and you just can't figure out why are they behaving in this particular way? It's kind of blindingly obvious that we should be doing this, and they're not agreeing with you. Well, you know, there being a wall. But would you think about, you know, when there being a wall, and would you think any of these things about a real wall? Okay, a real wall. Think about a real wall. You're standing and there's a brick wall in front of you, and I can see there's a brick wall here right in front of me. I can see it. It's a physical wall. So I'm thinking about. Would you say these things? Oh, bad, evil wall, stupid wall, wrong wall, stubborn wall, not listening wall, cruel wall, not caring wall, selfish wall. Would you say those things? No, you wouldn't, because it's a wall. It'd be absolutely ridiculous for you to be saying these things to a wall or thinking these things about a wall, because it's a wall. Are you seeing where I'm going with this? So they are a wall. They are who they are. They are who they are. And they are believing what they are believing because of that. So it's their nature of the wall to be a wall. People want to believe what they want to believe. They might say, you know, here are all the facts, etc. They'll justify why they want to believe, but ultimately want to believe what they want to believe. You know, I don't know whether you've ever met anybody who believes in UFOs, right? So, I mean, they've got all these facts and figures and stuff like that. I mean, same with if you have an argument with somebody, a discussion with somebody about religion, is that they'll give you all the facts as to why they believe in God and why, and why you ought to believe the same in the same God, etc. And they will do that, right? But ultimately, yes, they'll have all the justifications, etc. for it. But ultimately, is that they want to believe what they want to believe, yeah. And you want to believe what you want to believe. Same thing applies to you, all right? So, so it's actually idiotic to get angry and frustrated, blaming and unforgiving of a wall, right? I mean, you wouldn't do it to a real wall, would you? But why are you doing it here? And this is the worst. This is the worst. You might be still getting me, right? But the third one is going to really hit you, as it did hit me when I realized this. That unfortunately, it's your nature that when you come across a wall, is to hit your head against it. Your automatic response is to hit your head against that wall and do one of those 6 things, or all of those 6 things. Hit harder, hit more times, try a different spot, painkillers, improve technique, over and over again, right? So that's what you'll do. So how can you stop this? Is just that, look, well, you could wait for the wall to change. Good luck with that. Or you could change. Now, the only thing that actually you have in control of the process is you. You. The only thing that you can control in your life is you. And even that is, you know how difficult it is to control your life. I was having this conversation with someone else recently, and they said, oh, I was told, oh, my partner said, oh, I'm doing this because of you. I said, do you really believe that? Do you believe that you have all this power over this other person? Think about how much power you have over your own body, over your own actions. Is that you end up doing things that you wonder, why am you doing that? You don't have as much control as over your own actions as much as you would like, and you're in 100% control. So do you really think you can control someone else? Now, for most of us, we can't. I mean, if you happen to be a skilled sociopath, then yeah, maybe you have found a way to control others. But generally speaking, when I'm talking to non-narcissistic sociopaths here, is that you can't manipulate other people, and you can't permanently change them, right? You can't. So do you want to? How do you stop this? So you could do two things, and this is the how, right? Is that you could walk away. Now, none of these are particularly easy. Okay, so walking away, and people do this. They walk away from family, from partners, from friends. Incredibly difficult to do. You can walk away from work, get a new job. Difficult to do, but you could walk away. Now, the second thing is actually also quite difficult to do, but you could change your nature so you don't react the way that you do. And I'm going to talk about that in the next slide, right? So what is it that you do? Is the first thing is to accept the wall for what it is. They are what they are. They believe what they believe, and you believe what you believe because of who you are. It's congruent. Your belief set is congruent to who you are. You cannot change another person. So when Jesus said, he's on the cross, and he calls out, says, Father, forgive them, they know not what they do. Is that what he's saying is that, look, these people are behaving in a way that is congruent to them, and their behavior wanted him crucified, and were then reveling and joyous in seeing his suffering. Now, he recognized and understood that they are behaving the way that they are behaving because of who they are. They cannot help it. Yeah, he didn't agree with it, but they did not. He realized that they can't behave in any other way. And this is actually a universal truth, is that everybody at any point in time is doing the best they possibly can. You might not agree with it, you might find their behavior kind of bizarre, wrong, etc., but they are behaving according to their nature, and their nature is leading them to behave in certain ways. And a lot of that is some of that is not very good. Because their nature has led them to be that. Some people are, they just can't help it. They just have to lie. They just lie about everything. They can change, but until they change, is that their nature will be like that, and it's difficult for them to change, right? So you just have to kind of accept them with that. And the same way is that you're believing whatever you're believing because of who you are. They are who they are, and that's why they believe what they believe. And then once you realize that that is they're being their nature, they're being a wall, they're being congruent to their nature, then you'll find that it's easy to forgive because they can't help it. They can't help it. They are what they are, and then you may not agree with it, but they are what they are. And this is what Jesus meant by love your enemies. He didn't mean, give them a kiss and flowers and a cake on their birthday and all the rest of it. No, love means to understand. Understand them, and once you understand them, you realize that they are behaving that way because they cannot help behaving in any other way. And this is the same thing about you, is that you are also behaving in a way that you cannot control at the moment, and you are behaving in a way and you're automatically behaving in that way. So if it's okay for you to behave that way because you are who you are, then is it not okay for them to behave in the way that they behave because it's okay for them to behave who they are? I'm not asking you to agree with it. I'm not asking you to say, to condone their behavior, but you just have to accept it. So I want to accept yourself for what you are, because your desire for agreement is unproductive in a situation. And then because of that, right, your desire for agreement is unproductive in this particular situation. In a situation where you can have a discussion, and there's no intransigence on your part or their part, and you're sharing information and you're sharing facts and figures, then of course continue. But that's not a wall. All right, you're not dealing with a wall at that point. But the point where you're dealing a wall is that recognizes a wall. And also, here's the other thing: is that a lot of people they may be able to forgive other people, but they seem to be people who are critical of others are even hypercritical, are even more hypercritical of themselves. And this is the fact: is that those of you who think that you're really hard on yourself and everybody else isn't hard on themselves and you're the only person on the planet that's hard on yourself. It's not true. Is that there are more people that are hard on themselves than are not. And I realized this a while ago, is that when somebody in the team has made an error, I don't need to tell them that they made an error. They already know, and they already feel really bad about it, and me rubbing it in is completely unproductive. So I stopped doing it, and it's completely pointless. So this is also in a nutshell, this is also part of Buddha's teaching. As Buddha has 4 noble truths. Is number 1 is life is full of suffering, life is full of walls. 2 is that you are the cause of that suffering. Whoa, yeah, that's what we just talked about. Yeah, you are the cause of that suffering. You're the one who's hitting the head against brick wall. You are the cause. 3, suffering can stop hitting the head against brick wall. and 4 is how you do that is, and he talks about following the 8-fold middle path. And one of the elements of the middle path is right understanding, and another one is right action. Right. So here's the right understanding. Right understanding is this is a wall, and a right understanding is that you are this mad person, this mad emoji hitting your head against the wall like that. Right, and therefore the right action is to stop doing it. Right, so there you go. Buddha's teachings there in a nutshell. And so I want you to also know what I'm not saying. Okay, is inverted commas compromise. Now, compromise is often used as a euphemism by a lot of people to basically say agree with something that you don't agree with. No, don't ever do that, please. He said, don't fool yourself and others by saying that you agree with something that you don't agree with. That's non-integrous. It's non-integrous, okay? It is okay for you to disagree. It's okay to disagree, okay? It's okay to disagree. And we're living in a world where, we're all asked to agree to a certain thing. No, it's wrong. It's okay to disagree. It's how you choose to disagree is important. So if I don't agree with you, or if I disagree with you on a subject, it is wrong for me to go and then thump you. Right? It is okay for me to, however, say is, I understand what you're saying. I can see why you have come to the conclusion that you have come to, but I don't agree with your conclusion. And shall we just choose to disagree on this matter and then shake hands and walk away? Right. So it is okay to disagree. It is okay to disagree. It's how you choose to disagree that is important, right? Is that, you know, resulting violence, or, you know, all kinds of malicious comments and stuff like that, cyberbullying, all that kind of stuff. It's just completely wrong. It's okay to have a different opinion. It's not. It's okay to disagree. And we're living in this world where, you know, you say, oh, you know, just have to agree to everything. No, you don't have to agree to. Well, if you don't agree with something, then you must say, I don't agree with it. Right. So and it should be okay to for disagreement. And I'm not saying stop being passionate. Passion is a wonderful quality, but just also recognize that when passion is no longer an asset but a liability. In this particular case, is that, you know, my passion has been a bit of a liability for me, because I'm hitting head against my brick wall because of that passion. It's a liability in that particular situation. And I'm also saying don't be apathetic. Walking away doesn't mean that you don't care. It just means that you recognize that your behavior is unproductive and it's harmful for you. It's harmful to you. The only thing, if you physically go and hit a brick wall, the only thing that's going to happen is that your head is going to hurt. Nothing happens to that brick wall. Nothing is happening to that other person. Nothing. This is, you know, why that message from Jesus is so amazing. You know, forgive others, because he's saying that for your own good, for your own good, your own good. It's for your own good. Okay, and so I just want to, just so if you haven't understood, is that I want you to be, is that I'm telling you to care and be passionate always. These are wonderful gifts that you have been given. Wonderful, wonderful. It's good to care and it's good to be passionate. And I really, really wish that more people were more caring and passionate about more things. Life of the world will be a better place. So, in summary, what is happening? You're hitting your head against a wall, and you're doing this because you're passionate and you care and you want to get agreement. And how can it stop? And you're trying to, is that just to recognize what it is. The wall is a wall. The wall is a wall, and the wall's not going to change. So you need to forgive, walk away, and stop hitting those walls. I hope that helped. Thank you very much.